Testing, 1, 2, 3, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry I've been away for like a couple of days. I had come down with a bit of a case of the fluey wooey. I know everybody enjoys the fluey wooey, but this one particularly sucked for me. So yeah, so if my voice sounds a bit raspy or something else, my bad. I didn't mean to do it like this. But we must continue and prevail on and move forward with our lives. Today I'm going to be talking about the topic of wokeness. Woke. Oh no, here comes the woke. I think my opinion about wokeness that is it's good and bad. And I know that sounds like a proper fence sitting, but I think having more inclusivity and being more diverse in a world of pure diversity is ultimately a good thing. We're gonna get more ideas. We're gonna get more people understanding each other. We're gonna get more everything else. If that's the baseline of wokeness, I agree with it. But the problem is what we're getting with wokeness is we're also getting a lot of inclusivity. So if you don't agree with their opinions, then or their facts about their lives, then they don't like you. They will cancel you. They will try to ruin your life in any shape or way or form. So yeah, I generally think it's a good thing and a bad thing, but the bad parts are now slightly overtaking the good parts. So yeah, right now I think my whole point is to really actually talk about this in this podcast form. Is that oh shit, is my fan going? my bad. I didn't know my fan was going like that. Hopefully this recording sounds okay. Yeah, the whole point is that to talk about the Little Mermaid probably is the thing I want to talk about the most. This is probably the great example of wokeness affecting both sides in a negative fashion either way. Because let me talk about this. I think if you're talking about anti-wokeness, like the far right kind of view, they have taken it to a point of, oh, look at this woke TV show, or woke movie, casting our unrealistic mermaid. Unrealistic mermaid? An unrealistic mermaid? Are we quite sure that we want to go down this route of being unrealistic? The fact is, if you're talking about a 60-year-old girl who sings underwater, and by the way, the people say the source material, it doesn't actually hold up against the source material. The source material was, I think, written word or a Danish like law, something like that. So it's not like it had came any with visual effects, like to even see that this person was white. Like, it's a fairy tale. It's made up. It's nothing to be actually real. I think the only thing people could really go on for visual effects is the 90s film. The 90s film, when you look back at it, yes, he was white, but is it so far-fetched to go, I want a black woman in that role? No, it isn't, because you know why? In that 90s film, if you look back in it, the father was black. The father was clearly a black man. He had black skin, and he looked like a black dude. So I don't understand how we're okay with that, but not okay with the main lead being the one. Shouldn't the father be black in the 90s film? As well, if he's not be black, he should be white in the 90s film. He should be. So, yeah, I generally think people have taken this a bit too far. I generally think wokeness is bad. It's affecting either side quite poorly, where the right don't know how to think and the left don't know how to think about this. We don't know how to really process proper diversity correctly. and we don't know how to treat people on a just basic human basis. Like, I think there's inherently something better of, I don't care where you from, I don't care how you do it, as long as you do a good job for me and you treat me with somebody with respect, it's probably good enough, because you're not gonna get everybody's respect. You're not gonna respect everybody, especially in the workplace. You're not gonna like everybody's not gonna agree with your point of views. I generally think if people hire you and off your merit and what you can ability to do is something that we've never done in human history. A lot of people, even today, I think nepotism affects the workplace so hard. It's actually unbelievable, because people who are getting into roles who don't deserve roles are having nepotism affected quite poorly. So yeah, I generally think wokeness is bad for everybody, including the right and the left, because it's just making everybody a bit all over the place. And I think with the left, I think there's battlegrounds where trans people don't want to be a part of. I think some people have said, I don't want my life to be a battleground constantly. If you just leave them to what they want to be in life, then that should be okay. I think everybody should do that, and I think if everybody respects you enough to call you by your pronouns, whatever you want to be called by, I think that's good enough. I don't think you should be able to agree with somebody all the time. If you agree with somebody, if your whole friendship group agrees with each other the whole entire time, then you're not really a friendship group. A lot of your friendships are not being honest with each other, and a lot of people I can't understand in this day and age of people actually saying, I don't like hanging around people who don't agree with me. I love hanging around people who don't agree with me, because I learned something. And if you don't hang around people who don't agree with you, then you don't have real friends, because they're not being really honest, because we all live individual lives and grew up differently. I said to myself, I think 75% of my friend group I don't agree with. Not even 75, maybe you can go as far as 90% of my friends who I don't agree with. But I still respect them. We still have key elements of our friendship group where we actually agree with each other, and we agree very well. So yes, this podcast is really just to understand. For me, it's just like people are now dividing it up. I think I'm maybe going off a bit far on this one, but I think people need to understand we need to understand each other more than anything else, and that's going to be a point of, we're going to disagree with each other, but we should respect each other enough to not let our disagreements become the main reason why we don't understand each other. If we could all respect each other enough, then we could all get along. And don't worry about if people hate you or not, as long as they hate you from a distance and they keep themselves to themselves. That's the thing I'll say about this wokeness stuff. Well, it's 8 minutes in, and I'll say goodbye and see you next week. I'll probably will be a lot better. I'll be posting more often. So this has been my 2 cents about wokeness. If I'll be talking about another topic in a couple of days, probably on Friday or Thursday. I'll speak to you guys again. I will post more consistently. I was just ill this week. I came down with a massive flu. So sorry about it, guys. I'll be back next week. I've been your boy Merlin, and goodbye.